The subway rattled on, its metallic hum blending with the tired sighs of late-night commuters. Among them was Hina, her phone casting a pale glow across her weary face. "I'm just the average corporate slave," she muttered inwardly. Her phone buzzed faintly in her hand. With nothing else to do, she did what she always did after work: escape into fiction. A web novel was her usual medicine against reality. Her eyes landed on a title: The Devil's Favorite Concubine. Never tried this one. Let's see, she thought, tapping it open. The story unfolded before her eyes. It was about Hua, another office worker just like herself, who after a long day found herself unexpectedly pulled into a novel called A Thousand Blossoms Bloom. When Hua woke up inside the story, she wasn't the heroine. No. She had become Sona, the cannon fodder concubine fated for misery. In the original plot, Sona was doomed. She was forced to contend with the scheming beauty Yuriel and the psychotic Emperor Ren. Crushed in the palace struggle, she died a pitiful death. But after Hua's soul took over Sona's body, everything changed. Using her modern skills, Sona twisted fate itself. She stole Yuriel's seductive charm with, and even snatched away Yuriel's beloved Prince Duan, plotting alongside him in the shadows of moonlight. Together, they toppled the tyrant, and Yuriel was executed. Sona became Empress, Duan the new Emperor. Side by side, they ruled at the pinnacle of power. Hina exhaled sharply, leaning back. "Another brainless power fantasy transmigration novel," she murmured. "Predictable. Overdone. Haven't I read this story 1,000 times already?" Her thumb hovered over the screen, ready to close the app and find something else. But then, a strange thought tugged at her. Wait. Hua is kind of like me, isn't she? The train rattled on. Hina's frown deepened as the idea lingered. Then, the lights flickered. Her phone screen glowed brighter than it should, far too bright for an ordinary device. The glow spread across her hands, her lap, the entire subway car. "What's going on?" she gasped, shielding her eyes. Passengers around her didn't seem to notice, as if the light was meant for her alone. The screen pulsed once, twice, and then the world around her shattered into light. Silk curtains, golden lanterns, and the faint scent of sandalwood. When Hina opened her eyes, the subway was gone. She now laid on a luxurious bed, the world around her soaked in old-fashioned glamour. She sat up abruptly, heart pounding. "Is this the palace?" she thought in disbelief. Her fingers trembled as she touched her face. It felt different. Hina stumbled to her feet and turned toward the polished bronze mirror. Her reflection stole her breath. Wide, alluring eyes, a flawless complexion, crimson lips curved like rose petals. Damn, such a beautiful face. Don't tell me. I became Yuriel, the original female lead. The woman fated to be cast aside and crushed to death in the palace power struggle. The realization chilled her blood. Just then, a timid knock echoed from the side. A young maid slipped into the room, bowing. "Concubine Yuriel," she said softly. "I'm here to help you get dressed. Tonight, you must serve His Majesty well." Yuriel stiffened. Tonight? Already? Memories from the novel crashed through her mind. In the original story, Yuriel was meant to spend the night with the tyrant, but she had refused. For her defiance, she was thrown into the cold palace, abandoned, humiliated, destroyed. Worse still, her beloved Prince Duan was dragged there too, falling into Sona's grasp. No. If I want to change this fate, Yuriel thought desperately, I have to seize this opportunity. Impress the tyrant. and eliminate Prince Duan and Sona before they can turn the tables. The maid's hands trembled slightly as she fixed Yuriel's hair. Yuriel drew a sharp breath, then forced a calm smile. "Just finish my hair. I'll handle the rest myself." As the comb slid through her hair, she steadied her heart. In this kind of palace drama, emperors and concubines are no different than office politics. Back then, I was Party B, forced to please Party A. If I could survive corporate life, then I can handle this tyrant too. Moments later, she stood outside the emperor's bedchamber. Her presence was announced by the eunuch. "Your Majesty, concubine Yuriel has arrived." Yuriel lowered herself into a graceful bow. "Greetings, Your Majesty." But before she could raise her head, "Get lost," came a sharp voice from behind the curtains. Yuriel froze. "Wait, what? That never happened in the novel." Two eunuchs stepped forward, ready to drag her away. Panic spiked in her chest. "Your Majesty," she cried out, desperation breaking through, the sound of rustling silk. A figure stirred behind the curtain. "Wait!" The Emperor's voice rang out. "Will she truly be discarded just because she cannot stay?" The eunuchs dropped to their knees. "Forgive us, Your Majesty." A pause. Then his command cut through the air. "She can stay, but the rest of you, leave." The servants retreated, leaving Yuriel trembling on the floor. She steadied herself, rising to her feet. What's happening here? None of this was in the book. Gathering her courage, she stepped forward and lifted the curtain. And there he was, the Emperor. His presence filled the room like a storm, his face too flawless, too otherworldly, almost unreal. Oh my God, he looks like a demon even a 1,000-year-old monk couldn't suppress. This author was definitely obsessed with looks, Yuriel thought, her heart racing. The Emperor's eyes opened slowly, sharp and distant. "Who's there?" he asked, his tone indifferent. Yuriel swallowed hard. "Concubine. Yuriel," she stammered. He glanced at her once before turning away. "Concubine Yuriel, you may sleep on the floor tonight." The words pierced her pride, but something about the way he said her name felt oddly familiar. Why does it sound modern? She wondered. Her eyes narrowed. A bold thought flickered in her mind. Yuriel slid closer to him, her voice barely a whisper. "Your Majesty," she said. "What is it?" he asked, irritated. She leaned in and, in her native tongue, modern Korean, she whispered, "How are you?" His body stiffened instantly. His eyes flew open. For the first time, his mask cracked. He grabbed her wrist, his voice shaking as he answered back, in the same language. "I'm fine. And you?" Yuriel's breath caught. Tears glistened in his eyes, emotions raw and unguarded. She stared at him in shock. No way. He transmigrated too.